Hey Food Slayers, Michelle here from foodslaying.com. I just wanted to make a quick video, kind of a PSA, because there's a lot of things going on in the food supply chain. If you haven't heard already, you may or may not know that farmers are dumping thousands of gallons of milk. They're tilling in thousands of pounds of squash and tomatoes and lettuce and onions. Farmers are cracking hundreds of thousands of eggs, and now we're starting to see meat processing plants close because workers have contracted COVID-19. And so it's quite precarious what's happening, because the food supply chain, there are a lot of links in that chain between you and the farmer. And so we're starting to see it fail right now. And we don't know how long that's going to last. A lot of big agricultural commodities are grown, on thousands of acres. They produce hundreds of thousands of pounds of food every year to feed all of us. And they plan that 6 to 12 months in advance. So it's not very easy for them to plan for something as unexpected as this COVID-19 pandemic. In fact, we're seeing the cracks in the links in that chain very visibly right now. And so it's very concerning. People are still seeing food shortages in the grocery store because the trucking lines have slowed down, because the employees that drive those trucks around have gotten COVID-19. And so it is very precarious. What is good and what is very encouraging about what's happening right now is a lot of small farms, community-supported agriculture groups, urban farms, small local farms in communities are beginning to step up and serve the community. They are able to pivot much more quickly than large agricultural farmers, because they are working in a smaller scale. Of course, they can't, feed as many people as a large agricultural, farmer. But what they can do is that, there are community-supported agriculture groups and small urban farms popping up in, cities everywhere. A lot of people have started to get into farming and small farming and, growing lots of vegetables, starting community-supported agriculture groups, which I've been a fan of and been a part of for decades. And so I'm super encouraged to see that a lot of these smaller farms are able to fill the gap in between now and whenever the food supply chain kind of gets back on track, because we have no idea how long this is going to last, right? So that's the beauty of what's happening right now. There's actually a farm in California called Eat Well Farms, and they're a community-supported agriculture group, and they have a waiting list right now of 350 people. And so there is demand for local farmers to step up and fill the void. And so that's very encouraging. And if you can find one that you can become a part of, I encourage you to do it right away. If you can. If you can't, then some alternatives are to grow your own food. That is, if you can get seeds, if you can actually get access to seeds. A lot of the small seed companies, the family seed companies, they're all sold out of their seeds at this point in the season. It's already almost May, and the growing season is about to pop off right now. So if you can get seeds, I encourage you to get them. I actually do have some seeds on my website, foodslaying.com. You can go over there and check it out and support the show. But if you already have seeds, I encourage you to start growing food, because you can grow food anywhere. You can grow food anywhere, even if it's just enough to feed your family. I encourage you to do it, and do it now, because we just don't know how long this is going to last. So that's my PSA for today. Thank you for listening in. I release a podcast every week. In fact, one of my conversations about the food supply chain was with Corey Sharp. We did a live podcast last week, and I also interviewed Shay Myers, which was a great interview. So I encourage you to head over to foodslaying.com and check it out there. So in the meantime, remember to eat clean, eat healthy, and love your food, and I'll see you on the other side of the plate. Ciao.